All right, so you want to make better bass lines. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make bass lines from scratch and how to make them super easy with a simple formula that you can use in any song. So firstly, we're going to map out chords so that we have the bass to play against these chords. Let's map out a really simple chord progression. Let's do a 2-5-1 chord progression. And let's make these ninth chords. We're going to use a Rhodes for the sound here. We're going to use a dominant ninth for our dominant chord. And then we're going to use a C major ninth for the tonic, okay? So that's what it sounds like. Let's use the tritone substitution. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Transpose that chord. Okay, so what I'm going to do is lower the velocity a little bit. Okay, so using this big chord, this will help you understand bass. Because bass is really, you can think of it as a chord extension. So what happens if I get rid of this bottom note? For example, let's take the bottom notes out, the tonic, and let's actually add those to the bass. We're really playing the ninth chord. It's just that we're not playing all of the notes with the piano. So this is what you use the bass for, is actually playing parts of a chord in the bass. And what I'll also do is get rid of the fifth, which is these notes here. And we're just going to take this bass and copy these notes. Now you don't have to do it this way every single time, but let's raise it up 7 semitones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The perfect fifth will always work with your bass. You don't have to do it that way. Okay, another thing you could do with your bass is give it rhythm. So instead of do, 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 you could give it rhythm. Okay, now depends on how your drums are. Now that rhythm is usually repetitive so that the listener can get a vibe for it. Okay, so we're just adding a doo-doo. And then you could do do-do-do-do. Okay, now usually I go up. When I'm at the end of the bass, I usually go up in half steps. And then back to the tonic. Now it's giving it more of a neo-soul vibe because we're playing it rhythmically. Okay, so I'll let that ride out. Okay. Now, if you need filler notes, you could add that fifth in. So we're just going to add the fifth of C, which is G, 7 semitones up. Didn't fit right there. So really simple, just tonic and the fifths and add that rhythm. Now, the other tones you could add here, I'm just going to give you a quick little thing. You could add the note above the fifth or a sharp fifth. You could use a flat fifth. You could use the perfect fourth, which is 5 semitones up from the root note. You could also use the note above the fourth. And as you see here, it's because that's technically the fifth of C. Okay, so without going into deep music theory, I have a music theory course coming out soon. It's called Music Theory Magic. It actually goes into way deeper than just basic music theory. It goes into the magical side of it all, how to get people to feel your music. So that's a whole different conversation. But if you want to sign up now, and before we actually launch the course, it's busyworksbeats.com/music theory, because I'll teach you all this stuff. Now let's move into a different style. This style is going to be West Coast type bass. Now this, when you dig into West Coast and other genres in hip hop, you have to understand that this sound has more than one note inside of the actual note. If we dig into what's called the harmonic series, we can actually find that out. So when you're writing bass, understand that you're not just writing one note, you're writing multiple notes most of the time if you have a harmonic style bass. So in this case, we're going to use 3 hits. So for this West Coast type bass, and let's change the snap to grid because we're in a slower BPM. And again, the half step is going to be your best friend, meaning one note above or one note below whatever your note is. Now this sound is velocity sensitive. So if I turn up the velocity, you're going to hear more and more harmonic. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2. See how it opens up? So depending on the plugin, you're going to get a different sound. So that's very critical for this style bass because you don't need more notes sometimes. You just need more harmonic energy sometimes. Okay, we're going to add ending notes. 1, 2, 2. Okay, we're going to use that half step. So it's all about the half step for this type of genre, very tense genre. And then at the end, we're going to do a half step. Using that same concept, which is the perfect fifth of A is E. It's 7 semitones up. And I told you in bass, you could use the note above the fifth, a sharp fifth. You could use the fifth. It's a 4-note zone, basically. Okay, this whole zone, you could use any of these notes. Okay. So I'll add those notes in. Let me copy and paste those notes. Just kind of sprinkle them in. Now, you don't need to force yourself to do this every time. This is for demonstration purpose. Okay, so now we're going to mess with that. And also this note doesn't need to be up. It could also be down an octave. You can also use the note below the tonic. So let's try this. Okay, so you can kind of bounce around those notes. And again, it's that 4-note section. The only note I didn't add here is this D sharp. Let's see where we can fit it in. It's hard to hear the tone because that filter. Okay, so that's the bass. One last thing, I think we went over everything. And then you have an 808. So the 808 is the same exact thing. I guess the only difference with the 808, and you can get all these 808s on our Discord. It's completely free. We gave these out on 808 Day, which was August 8th, 2023. Come join our Discord. It's discord.gg/busyworks beats. I'll leave a link below. But what you can do with these 808s is treat them either like a kick or like a bass. So it depends on the actual 808. Every 808 is not tonal. Okay. Some 808s are just meant to play one note and that's it. Like I'm trying to find one. This 808 really isn't meant to play multiple notes, but it can play multiple notes. It's really just meant to be like a kick. So in that case, you have to think about your 808 or your bass as not a tonal note, but more of a kick. Okay, so that's the final note. And it's the same principles as over here. Okay, so if you want to learn more, the Music Theory Magic course will be out soon. Just go to busyworksbeats.com/music theory so that you can get on the early list so that I can tell you before everybody else. Thank you for watching. It's Game from busyworksbeats.com. Peace.